Okay, today we're going to teach you how to vacuum test your two-cycle cart motor. One of the things, most two-cycle engines work typically the same as cart versus weed whacker, so this is helpful for everybody that's out there that's listening. This happens to be a Komet K30 motor. It's approximately makes around 50 horsepower. It's a two-cycle racing go-kart engine, probably one of the most powerful ones that Komet ever built. And it's had a problem. I've had this thing on various carts, and it consistently was leaking some air, and I didn't know it until about the second or third piston that it stuck. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and teach you how to do that. And this motor no longer has a piston problem, thanks to my identifying the air leak that was underneath the barrel in the case. And we'll talk about that in another training seminar. But here we go. First we're going to switch on my vacuum pump, and you could crank it by hand too as well if you wanted to. These are pretty inexpensive at your local auto parts store. Takes some while to pump it by hand, so for this video I've added this nice vacuum pump. You can buy these at your local tool outlet. Harbor Freight's got them at a pretty good price. Anyway, so what we're going to do first is we came in here and we torqued down the cylinder head with a gasket, and torqued down the spark plug as well. Made sure that the gasket underneath the spark plug is torqued well in place, otherwise this won't work. And again, cylinder head's been torqued to the proper sequence. I've got a vacuum line going into what's called the pulse line for the carburetor. The carburetor bolts on here, and this is the pulse line. So I happen to have a little adapter that fits into the pulse line like so. And I've got the intake plugged up with a rubber plug. It's actually just a regular old bathroom plug. And I'm going to use this plug to seal up the exhaust port, and I'm just going to push it up there, and it's going to suck the thing on. We don't need to bolt that down if we have good vacuum inside. So here we go. We're going to start it up. And we're going to place that right about there. Whoop. Technical malfunction. Try this again. Gotta get it right over the hole so it covers everything there. And now we're starting to build some vacuum in the case. I'm going to pull this to about 28. This happens to be a snap-on pump, probably one of the better pumps on the market. I'm going to pull about 28 inches of vacuum, and that's probably the most you can pull on this planet. So here we go. We're going to turn it off, see if it maintains the pressure vacuum in the line. Line wants to shrink a little bit, so you see a couple pounds dropping, but or I should say a couple of inches. But it has maintains vacuum. That tells you it's a very critical thing for a two-cycle operation, since the two-cycle motors all use the pulse line to properly regulate the fuel that goes into the motor. The piston, as it travels up and down, creates a vacuum, then a pressure, and that pressure vacuum combination moves a diaphragm that is actually the fuel pump for the motor. In turn, then it has a pop-off valve and sprays it into the motor exactly when it's supposed to be doing it, when the piston is going up the barrel. So there it is. It's kind of like a mechanical fuel injector that's timed. So again, take you to my website. It's vintagecartparts.com. And we appreciate you viewing, and I hope this has been some help. We're trying to teach go-karters how to build their own motors. That's my goal, and this thing's still holding vacuum, as you can see. My goal is to teach go-karters to build their own motors and do it with confidence after watching some of my training videos. So we're going to talk about all aspects of building a go-kart motor and using inexpensive tools so you can do it yourself at home.